What's going on, guys, and welcome to another episode of converting my E36 into a Tail of the Dragon Ripper. This is the one everyone's been waiting for. Well, I say everybody, all 950 of you, which don't get me wrong, that is amazing. I'm so thankful for the growth of this channel. It's just basically me talking and wrenching on my old piece of junk here. So the fact that that many people want to see it, it really means a lot to me. Anyways, I'm going to try to focus a lot on this episode on just working. I'm going to stop occasionally to kind of explain products, but I really have a ton to do, so I won't be able to talk as much in this episode. So if that's what you like, unfortunately, I got to bust this stuff out because it's taking too long. But I'll stop to explain products as a whole, like system-wise, as they come up. So yeah. If you like relaxing wrenching videos, this one's gonna be for you. It's gonna be long, drawn out, but a lot of wrenching and relaxation, hopefully for you guys. So enjoy, let's get started. Oh, there's more. Oh, wow, air pocket. Oh, golly.
I thought you move it that way. It's gorgeous, flashing.
Oh my gosh.
Lift your side up. Part of the problem is it's hitting and splashing up.
Okay, so little status update. Just got the fan shroud completely out along with the mechanical fan. We've got one of the upper radiator hoses off. I'm following Menace's or M3 Menace. You guys know who I'm talking about. Following his guide on YouTube. It's proving great so far. We're making good progress. Let's keep going. Meant like a 2. Yeah, it can be a bad word. That's okay. Mistakes happen. See? Where is Gabby? Okay, so we're gonna be doing a little bit more narration now because the going back together is a little bit more involved. Okay, so I got everything cleaned really well. So now I'm gonna be installing the Stewart water pump. As you can see, if you look on the bottom here, there's a freeze plug. That's how you know to orient that on the bottom. Pretty straightforward. I'm also gonna take the seal and I'm actually going to rub a bit of coolant on the seal just from this tub, just to make sure that the seal has at least a little bit of lubrication before we install it. We should just be able to very gently slide this in here, just like that. I'm fighting this thing. This kind of scares me. I have these nuts started on here, and I'm just gonna kind of work them down in a crisscross pattern. I would just like to provide even tension on that seal. There we go. Water pump is installed. All right, so unfortunately, well, I don't think anybody's gonna be surprised. The Euro aluminum water pump pulley did not fit. This inner diameter of this ring was too small. So that's lovely. So reusing the original 1998 water pump pulley it is. To be honest, it looks like it's in fine condition, and I'm honestly not too worried about it. Everything else feels pretty good. I get those bolts tightened, and yeah, let's move on to the next thing. We are installing a brand new Continental serpentine belt. So the routing for this, I had to look up a diagram. Full confession of the truth. All right, so now all I need to do is get it onto the alternator. Okay, so as you can see, I got the belt on. Turns out the secret was actually to go over the fan, or not the fan clutch, I guess this would be the harmonic balancer, crank pulley, AC. I don't know, you know what it is. Anyways, so to start here, go over here, and then once you do the tensioner, then put it on the AC compressor. That's the order you're supposed to do it in. I was just being stupid. So, on to the next thing. All right, so after some deliberation and a quick phone a friend, I have decided that I am going to actually reuse the old thermostat. All right, guys, so just a little science experiment. Sorry, all the condensation. This is the new thermostat, is a Molly unit. Could not get this thing to open till roughly 200 degrees, whereas this one, the Waller, which is what was in it, opened at around probably in the 180 area. Which is a little cold. It's actually an 88 degree Celsius thermostat versus this one, which is a 92 degrees Celsius. But with the way I drive the car and the climate I live in, I think I'm gonna put the Waller back in it, just to kind of keep things on the cooler side, just to be safe. As you can see, both are open, but the Waller is wide open, and I'd rather keep this thing cool. So that's what we're gonna do. Glad I checked. As ghetto as that sounds, I know. I definitely think that that's gonna be the better option. I'll try to include the clip of me boiling these in here just for scientific purposes, if you will. But as you can see, I've got the thermostat in there with a new O-ring from the old thermostat, or the new thermostat. Old thermostat housing, because it's perfectly fine, with a brand new gasket. I cleaned this as best I could. It's still a little grungy, but she'll do. She'll get the job done. And yeah, so now I just gotta grab the bolts and we'll get those cleaned up too, and we'll get this installed. Arrow pointing up on the thermostat, just like that. All right, guys, so it's another beautiful day. We're continuing the cooling system. Here we have one of the most critical components I wanted to replace in this cooling system. This is a CSF radiator, which if you know, you know, and you'll know that this is definitely by far the best radiator that you can buy for your E36 or really a lot of cars. CSF has a ton of applications for all sorts of vehicles. Pretty much whatever you drive, they probably make a radiator for it. You'll notice that it's actually a brushed finish. They included this note, which was very nice, just to say that basically due to COVID-19 that they're not necessarily polishing all the radiators because they don't have the manpower. I gotta be honest though, I really like this brushed finish on this radiator. I honestly, I think I'd rather have this than the polished finish just because this is gonna hold up better. I'm not gonna have to stress about it because if you know me, I would be in there polishing my radiator in the engine bay with metal polish because I'm nuts. But this is awesome. This radiator looks fantastic. I'm gonna leave this protective covering on at least the back side so that if I accidentally bump the fan into it, I don't end up bending any of the fins. But regardless, I have to put a couple things on the radiator, and a lot of people just transfer this over from their old radiator, but I figured rubber stuff, probably a good idea to replace it. You have these two little top mounts. Basically these are just to isolate it on the actual brackets that hold it from the core support. These are the bottom mounts, and basically these are just as you would expect. They go right here, and they basically just are what vibration isolates the radiator on bottom. And then this is a brand new temperature sensor. Basically just tells the, if I'm not mistaken, I don't know if this one actually controls the aux fan or not. I think it does, but this is actually what tells your gauge in the car what temperature the car is. So this is a very important sensor. So yeah, anyways, let's go ahead and get started. This is pretty simple. It's basically just boop, boop, boop. So go ahead and do that real quick. Snug it up real good, and then that's it. Nice and easy. There we go. That's in there now. Such a weird but good clip all at once. Yeah, I'm a fan. So now we're going to prepare the fan shroud and new expansion tanks, new lines. You guys know the deal. So let's see, make sure I'm in frame. I'm gonna go ahead and spray down the fan shroud. This is the original fan shroud from 1998. So I'm spraying it down with Shine Supply Clean and Shine, which is not only gonna enrich the way it looks, it's also gonna add some UV protection and make the plastic a little more supple. I say UV protection, I guess that's not super necessary inside of an engine bay where it's constantly not being subjected to torture from the sun. However, a lot of the main reason why I want to do this is not only for the richer color, but like I said, just to make sure that it's nice and supple. I've noticed this stuff can actually help plastics remain more flexible. So that's definitely what we want, because I can only imagine that this is going to see some flex as we install it. All right, I think it's looking pretty dialed in. Some of that's going to kind of settle down. I know it looks probably kind of wet right now if you can really see it. So we have a brand new expansion tank. We're going to need to transfer a few things over from the old one, like the coolant temperature sensor and the cap. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. All right, I'm back. And let's back up a little bit. That might as well be brand new. For now, let's just snug it up and then move on. And then once we get it in the car, we'll go from there if adjustments need to be made. So now we're gonna be installing the lower radiator hose, because this is really the only time you can get to it. Easy peasy. Get that clamp out of the way.
Okay guys, so I'm sitting here editing this video, and I just wanted to say that this part of the process, getting the fan shroud, expansion tank, and the fan and fan clutch all back in at once, this is by far the hardest part of the job. Trying to not drop the fan shroud, hit the radiator with the fan or fan clutch, it's very difficult. So if you're doing this at home, just get ready. Honestly, having a second person to hold up the fan shroud would have been way more ideal. So that's probably a good idea if you want to do this yourself. It's totally doable on your own, but just get ready for some pain. This clip in total was 8 minutes of me just struggling to get the threads started on the fan. So yeah. Off camera also, I didn't show, I cleaned the fan clutch and I replaced the blades, and torqued the bolts to spec, which I believe was 8 foot-pounds. So yeah, here's my pain.
Oh, got it. Oh. I gotta take a breather. All right, guys, it is official. The cooling system is complete. Spare for obviously bleeding the thing, but as you can see, maybe if it'll focus. Yep, we got the CSF in there. Sorry I didn't record more. I kind of just had to get in the zone. I was running out of time, and I just kind of wanted to work. I figure you guys, I mean, you've probably seen people do cooling systems before on E36s, or you've probably done it yourself, because this is a very common job. New expansion tank, we already talked about everything that I replaced, but I just can't get over how everything looks and how good it came out. New coolant temperature sensor. I'm really hoping, like I said, this is a lot of parts to replace at once, so I'm really hoping everything plays nice together, everything works. Let's talk about a few other details. Replace these clips right here. New overflow line. I think that's what that would be called. And then, okay, so you probably know the line that runs from the expansion tank over down across the frame rail to the hard pipe on the block. I replaced that line as well, and that one sucked to replace, let me just tell you that. But yeah, cooling system's complete. Expect in the next episode to bleed this thing, and to address, well, I don't even want to look at that, to address all the other parts that we have, and hopefully in the next episode we will be on the road testing to make sure that this thing does not overheat. Actually, no, it's not going to overheat. We're not even gonna. All right, so pretty simple. First thing we need to take off is that bolt right there. It's a 22mm banjo bolt, and that is the feed line from the reservoir to the pump. So a lot of fluid's about to come out, probably about to make a mess, but let's just do it. There she goes. All right, let's make a gigantic mess. All right, so you can see we got that draining. That's actually really cool how it runs down that line like that and that it just comes out in this nice perfect stream. I don't know if it was designed to be like that, but that is pretty cool. So, all right, I'm just gonna sit here and let this drain for a little while. There's no reason to try to rush it and pull that out now and just get covered in fluid. So let's just give this just a minute. I got the this line right here off. This is the actually, what would this be? I guess this would be the high pressure line from the pump to the rack, if I'm not mistaken. Or it actually might be the return. To be honest, I'm not sure. I don't want to act like I know. Anyways, this is getting replaced along with those other two that you can see, so we'll go ahead and get those off now. Oh, yeah. Lovely. Okay, and lastly, just because I didn't get a chance to show it, I just wanted to show the Chase Base power steering lines that I installed. Unfortunately, it was just really hard to record. If I had a lift, I could record this stuff so much easier. So, as you can see though, AN lines, everything is absolutely beautiful. Everything fit perfectly. You can also see that the hard lines on the rack are gone, and that crimp that always leaks like right here is gone, and no more leaks. I already bled the system, everything's good to go. I put Redline D4 ATF in the reservoir, and as a matter of fact, let me show you the reservoir. Yeah, don't mind the coolant on there. That was kind of just an unfortunate casualty of doing the cooling system at the same time as this. I'll get that cleaned up, but yeah, beautiful, beautiful aluminum reservoir, and I could not be more happy with the Chase Base power steering kit. If you want to fix your leaks on your E36 that I know it has, don't tell me it doesn't, get the Chase Base kit. Hands down, it's the only way to fix it permanently. All right, guys, so that is a wrap on episode, what episode are we on? All right, thank you guys so much for sticking around and watching this episode. I know this was probably a little bit of a boring one, just a lot of wrench turning, a lot of parts going on, some anger being let out, but I'm so happy you guys stayed around to watch. Next episode, we're gonna be bleeding the cooling system, and I'm honestly, I could not be more stoked with how it all came together. A lot of different parts and everything played really well and played really nicely together. Chase Base power steering kit, you just can't beat it. Plain and simple. Thing is just, I mean, it's as good as it gets, like Chase Base stuff. I mean, seriously, if you don't have a Chase Base product in your car, what are you doing? Straight up peasantry, if you ask me. I'm just playing. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next time. Oh, and one more thing before I go. Don't let your anxiety control what you get done in life. Don't let a lie in your head tell you that you can't do something. Just start. Do it one thing, one day at a time, and before you know it, you'll be mountains above where you started. So it's just a little encouraging thing I wanted to tell you guys, because building cars is hard. It's a very long process. Building good cars is even harder, and it doesn't happen all at once. It happens in little bite-sized bits. But don't try to chew the whole thing at once. Just do one thing, one system, one part, one upgrade, one mod, one thing at a time. And don't let your anxiety get built up because it looks massive and never ending. Just do it. Just get to work, get it done, but do it one thing at a time, and don't rush, and have fun along the way. That's it. All right, I'll let you guys go now. Bye.
Last century.